What if I told you that the most investigated cold case in human history still has no scientific explanation? We're talking about a man, brutally executed, sealed inside a guarded tomb. And 3 days later, his body was gone. Skeptics have theories. Scientists have questions. But none of them can fully explain the empty tomb. Today, we're diving deep into the historical and spiritual mystery that has stunned scholars, confused skeptics, and changed billions of lives. This is the mystery of the empty tomb, and why it still matters. Let's rewind. After Jesus was crucified, two respected men, Joseph of Arimathea and Nicodemus, took his body and laid it in a tomb. John 19 verses 38 to 42. This wasn't some casual burial. The Romans sealed the tomb with a massive stone. Armed guards were stationed to prevent any interference. Why? Because Jesus had predicted, "Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up." The religious leaders were afraid his followers might stage something. So they made sure, no tricks, no resurrection stories. And yet, just 3 days later, the tomb was empty. Here's the real question. If Jesus' body was stolen, why couldn't the Romans or Jewish leaders just produce it and end Christianity? They couldn't. Because the body was never found. Let's look at the facts. Even skeptics agree on these. Fact 1. The tomb was discovered empty by women. In the ancient world, women's testimony wasn't even legally valid. If someone made up this story, why include them as the first witnesses? That only hurts your credibility, unless it's true. Fact 2. The stone was massive, and the guards were elite Roman soldiers. We're talking about a stone weighing 1 to 2 tons. These guards were trained to protect the tomb under penalty of death. Falling asleep? Not likely. Fact 3. No ancient source denies the tomb was empty. Even early Jewish writings don't say the body was there. They claim the disciples stole it. Matthew 28 verses 11 to 15. But let's be real. Would terrified fishermen risk their lives to spread a lie? Even modern scholars admit, no current theory fully explains the combination of an empty tomb, eyewitness accounts, and the explosive rise of Christianity. If Jesus truly rose from the dead, it changes everything. It validates everything he claimed. That he is the Son of God. The way. The truth. The life. Other religious leaders have graves you can visit. Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius. All honored. All still buried, but Jesus? His tomb is empty. That's not just a historical detail, that's hope, because if he conquered death, what can't he do in your life? If the grave couldn't hold him, neither can your shame, your fear, your past, or your pain. Maybe you're skeptical. That's okay, even the disciples doubted, until they saw him alive. But here's my challenge to you, don't just hunt for eggs, hunt for answers. What if it's true? What if the tomb really was empty? Because Jesus is alive, he said, "I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, though he die, yet shall he live." John 11 verses 25 to 26, the tomb is still empty, and that changes everything. What's your take on the resurrection? Drop your thoughts below, let's talk. Like, share, and subscribe for more truth-filled content that engages both the heart and the mind.